Good morning and welcome to the George Brendler Field on this 21st day of October 2023. And this is a Section VII Class D quarterfinal between the first-seeded Chazy Eagles and the eighth-seeded Willsboro Warriors. Prior to the game, we're going to have a senior recognition for the Chazy squad as their previous senior night had to be canceled due to some tragic circumstances here in Chazy. So we're about ready to acknowledge these 5 or 6 young ladies here that are seniors for Chazy. And Calvin Castine's on the camera, and Joey Tremblay is here in the booth with me. I'm going to pass the mic to Joe because he's the voice of Hometown Cable, and I will be
Since when?
well.
When did that happen?
I just made the executive assignment there. So anyway, I'll pass the microphone over to Joey, and he'll take over from here.
Well, Lee, it's great to be back in the booth with you and Calvin, the founding father of Hometown Cable, Mr. Legislator himself, and the pregame festivities here for these seniors, and they've given us a lot of wonderful memories here at the George Brendler Field over their high school career. But Lee, while they're getting ready for this presentation, boy, it has been raining.
Yeah, and it's rare on this field, but we've had so much rain this year that the ground is just saturated. We have standing water in a couple locations right on the field itself that we can see from here, and there's certainly other spots that we're going to have. Corey Thompson on the PA here, and we'll listen to what Corey has to say.
Today we honor 6 players as they continue to celebrate all of their individual and collective accomplishments over the last 13 years at CCRS.
We want to congratulate all of these girls and their families on an outstanding career here at Chazy. And we want to wish them all the best as they are about to embark on the next chapter of their lives. The Chazy community is very proud of all of you. And now let's meet our senior girls. Number 5, senior Tess Blair.
Tess Blair is a 3-year player for the Eagles. Hasn't been able to play this season due to medical. And so her sister Maggie and her mom are going to come out and meet Tess. She's a goalkeeper for the Eagles the past 2 seasons, accumulating 226 saves and 12 shutouts in her career.
So congratulations to Tess Blair, senior.
And one of the varsity boy players, Zamir Foster, is coming over to get a picture with her. Number 10, Shiloh Carroll. Shiloh is a 2-year player. She was a role player for the Eagles. She didn't accumulate any points, but was a great teammate during her time here at Chazy.
Congratulations to Shiloh, and as you know, Lee, everybody on the team is important, and they all have their roles, and Shiloh had her role, and that's why this team does as well as they do.
Absolutely. She's an excellent teammate. She's always cheering on her teammates. So, and those are important players. And she put in some good minutes. She did suffer some injuries in her career, but she put in some good minutes earlier this year in a substitution role out there. She looked impressive. So hopefully she gets some time here in the sectionals.
Senior Audrey Langlois.
Audrey Langlois, she's a 3-year player, accumulating 8 goals, 11 assists, and 27 points in her career. Primarily an outside midfielder. Good speed, good foot skills, and she's met by her mom and dad out there. I don't know if her sister is out there or not, Kate, but certainly Jenny, her mom is out there, and her dad as well, Jason.
Well, an excellent career, because when you're called up in Chazy as a sophomore, then you're a pretty good player.
Yeah, and she did real well out there for the Eagles. She's a critical player.
16, senior Cassidy Turek.
Cassidy Turek, also a 3-year player, this year's leading scorer, actually, accumulating 6 goals, 3 assists, and 15 points. That's all in this season. Prior to this season, she was a backup goalkeeper for the Eagles, so she found her spot out there on the field and outside midfield and doing a great job. She's out there with her mom, dad, and her sister.
Just an all-around great player for Chazy and a wonderful career for this young lady.
Number 18, senior captain Sam Gagno.
Well, you talk about very few 5-year players. Sam Gagno is one of those 5-year players for the Eagle. and I always refer to Sam as the Swiss Army knife for the Eagles. She accumulated a career totals of 12 goals, 17 assists, and 41 points. But that was in her first few years when she wasn't even what she played in the goal. She accumulated 109 saves in the goal over time. And then this year she's been stalwart in the back as a sweeper. So she's played pretty much every position on the field for the Eagles, made some great saves in last year's sectionals and state play and the goal on penalty kicks. So Sam Gagnon will be sorely missed. Lastly, senior captain Lexi Clark, a 4-year player for the Eagles. And she accumulated 14 goals, 11 assists, and 39 points in her career. Lexi's been an outstanding midfielder for Chazy. She basically holds the team together. She's a lot of the glue out there for the Eagles. She's joined by her mom and her sister, who's a freshman goalie this year, and her grandma.
Well, as you're talking, Lee, you're talking about Sam and Lexi. I'm sitting there going, I can't believe we're having this conversation. They're seniors already. Where does the time go?
It's really difficult to grasp how fast time rolls on, and there's no stopping it. So congratulations to all 6 young ladies on fabulous careers here at Chazy.
A nice presentation for these young ladies. They deserve it, and their families are out there, and which I think is kind of neat. You also had varsity soccer players on the guys' side going over to stand with each player.
Yeah, that's kind of a tradition that Chazy started here a few years back, where they, on their senior days, the opposing varsity team will come out with posters and sometimes flowers and just give support to their classmates and their teammates on the women's side and on the men's side.
Well, one thing I've noticed this year, and obviously probably past years too, is how each team really supports each other.
It's critical for both teams to be there for each other. It's a small school. It's tough. It's tough to. A lot of things happen.
Yeah, that's for sure. They are very, very close, and they'll be playing today with a heavy heart. But they're out on the field. They want to play. They're going to play. It's a playoff game. Willsboro's in town, and Willsboro got here. They had a tough match in the playing game.
Yep, they faced off against a difficult Scroon Lake Newcomb team. Willsboro came away 1-0 winners in overtime on a Emma Jakes goal. Emma Jakes is an 8th grader. She's the leading scorer for Willsboro this year. Willsboro's only got 11 players, so much like their boys team, they're struggling to put numbers on the field. They did have, in years past, some really powerful teams with Jenna Ford, who's the all-time leading scorer in Section 7 girls. But once Jenna graduated, they've kind of struggled to put the wins on the board. But this is a battling team out there. Peyton Lirkus in the goal; she does a good job for the Warriors, and they're battlers. So Chazy will be in tough today. Well,
Justin Drinkwine, their coach, has to be very proud of the effort they put in to win that game. And I think it was 2 overtimes. And this team comes in here. They're a 500 club. They're 7-9 overall and 6-7 in the league. 22 goals for, 26 against. So you don't know what team's going to show up today for Willsboro. I think it will be a good test for these Eagles. I think, that game was a big one for them to win, and they know it's a tall task come to the George Brendler Field to take on the number 1 seed. But Willsboro is a team that battles, and it could be an interesting game, especially with the way the field is today. I think the elements kind of even things up.
Well, it will to a degree, certainly, and I don't know if Calvin has caught it yet, but we do have, we mentioned earlier, standing water on the Willsboro end that they're warming up on now in 2 different spots, and that's really never happened at George Brendler Field other than this year, and that's just a product of the ground being absolutely saturated all soccer season basically. So the Eagles and their ground crew put tarps down overnight because they knew the rain was coming, primarily in the 18-yard, 6-yard boxes to help give the goalkeepers some semblance of footing out there. But it's still going to be a challenge for both teams to navigate through the wet, swampy turf out there.
Well, it's going to be an interesting game. It is this is the quarterfinals, and the winner of this game, I think they're moving the game to Wednesday of next week instead of Tuesday. So if Chazy wins the game, we'll be here at the George Brendler Field. If they happen to lose, then the game will be at the higher seed, I would assume.
Yeah, and the 2 teams that are playing that will face the winner of this game are Boquet Valley. They're the number 5 seed, and Keene, who's the number 4 seed. So
And they play today?
and all of Section 7 Class D girls are supposed to play today, and hopefully they're able to get the games in with the weather. It's such a difficult thing when you have weather issues, primarily because of officiating, scheduling the officials, because there's a limited number of officials. You got to have 3 per game in the sectionals. That's a requirement, and so that's the real challenge there.
And you got to love these diehard fans, and it's not a wonderful day to be out there, and they're out there with their umbrellas. We're fortunate. We're in the press box, and the rain happens to be coming from the south, which is coming from behind us, so we're in a pretty good spot up here.
Yeah, I mean, we're certainly the cream of the crop up here in the booth, because we don't face any of the elements 90% of the time, so it'll be a good match. I look forward to it. Hopefully Chazy can overcome some of their struggles, emotionally, and put a good show on the field today.
So do we know who the officials are today? Did we get those?
Well, I've got 2 of the 3. Brian, who's the 3rd official? Southern? Steve Stahl. Okay, so we do. It's Mr. Bodette, Mr. Stahl, and Mr. Jerry Kowaleski are the 3 officials for today.
And these are 3 seasoned officials, Lee, and I say this almost every time I'm on the camera here with Calvin or have the mic in my hand. We're very fortunate to have such senior officials, and where would we be without them?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, and as many people know, it's a thankless job. Nobody could tell you more than the official themselves, because every fan knows more than the official knows, at least in their own mind. So they do a fantastic job here, and it's not their primary job. That's the thing. These guys are weekend warriors and nighttime warriors for a lot of this. So we certainly can't thank them enough for their basically allowing high school soccer to take place.
Well, and we have to understand, when they're on the field, there's a lot going on, and where they are from their vision point. Up here, we have a wonderful vision. We're elevated. We can see plays develop much better than you can at ground level, and I just think these guys do a wonderful job.
Totally different scenario. When you're on the field, seeing things, and then, like Joey said, then when we are up here in the booth, where we have a great vantage point.
So it is going to be Chazy. It's Willsboro. It is playoff soccer. And Leah, the other thing is, you have the regular season, and that's great, and you play for a sectional championship. But when that season's done, the playoffs is a new season, and anything can happen, and we see that in sports all the time.
Yeah, there are upsets that take place, and could be from any number of reasons. Those things may happen. Sometimes the seeding is a little screwy, and you may not get the best opponent for you. But this is a whole new season, so good luck to both these teams as we move forward in this, what I call the crazy season of sectionals and state play.
Well, the officials will be walking out to the center of the field. The players will walk out, and I feel bad for the Willsboro players. At least they'll be on the field, because it is a swamp in front of their bench right now.
Yeah, their poor coaches are going to be standing in a puddle of water. They don't have any subs for the match, so we won't have to worry about that. But the coaches will be standing in a puddle over there unless they find alternate footing as the players march out to the central circle, and we'll have the PA announcer will be making announcements and introducing both sides.
And we're at the George Brendler Field for this playoff game between the Warriors of Willsboro and the Eagles of Chazy. Chazy comes in as the number 1 seed. Willsboro comes in as the number 8 seed. And Lee, we're in playoffs, so that means we have a 3 official rotation.
Yep, 3 officials. The central official today is going to be Mr. Kowaleski, and then 2 officials on the sidelines, and they all have the earpieces in so that they can communicate with each other as we're waiting for kickoff, as the Eagles will take the kickoff first, as they're checking with both goalkeepers, and Lily Pratt and Pender Bayshard starts the sectionals for Chazy.
Well, the playoffs have officially started here in Chazy, and the ball is controlled by number 16, Valekovic. Valekovic loses the ball into the open space. It's picked up by Lexi Clark. She pushes it on to the feet of Pratt. Pratt pushes it to the outside. She's trying to find Lexi Clark on a little give and go. Back to Lexi Clark. She gets it inside of the box. Coming off the line is the goalie, Lurkes. And she's only a sophomore, and she'll work her way to the 18. And you can see she already got dirty during warm-ups.
It's kind of hard not to, I think. If you warm up properly, you're going to get dirty and wet.
You got to go down to get those balls. The ball is in the defensive end for Chazy. It's pushed back to the sweeper. Gagnon now sends it forward into the defensive end of Willsboro, but quickly Benway sends a big kick into the Chazy territory. Gagnon chips it up. That goes off of the head of Turek. Turek trying to find Pender Bayshard. It's picked up by Velekovic with the ball, cannot get to it. It's off the sideline, so it'll be a throw in for Turek. Turek comes in. She's the lead point getter for Chazy this year. Comes back to Turek. Turek goes down the line to the open space onto the speed of Lily Pratt. Pratt will work her way down. Coming to help out to defend is Benway, and nice play by Lily Pratt. She sends it across, goes through everybody, and it gets by Nolette for Willsboro. She sends it forward. On the far side is Harvey for Chazy. Harvey trying to get to the ball. Harvey battling the ball. It goes off of Harvey. The call doesn't go Chazy's way, and I think Harvey thought she would be getting the call.
Yeah, she thought she had possession. Now, Willsboro comes in here with a 4-game winning streak, so they've got a lot of confidence behind them as they come into this battle with Chazy.
And the ball is in play in the offensive zone for Chazy. It's Lily Pratt. She was on the near side. She's now on the far side. Ball comes into play onto the feet of Mitchell. Mitchell for Willsboro. Nice pass forward. It's deflected to number 1, Jacques. Jacques working her way down, but defended well by Chazy. And the ball pushes back to Gagnon. Gagnon chipping the ball forward. Skips toward midfield. Picked up by number 5. That would have been Benway. Benway has it taken away onto the feet of Brooke Stevens. Stevens now gives it to Pender Bayshard. Pender Bayshard with some space gives the ball up to Pratt. Pratt trying to cut to the inside. She does. It's Pratt. She now pushes it through to Bayshard. Bayshard hustling to the ball, but getting there first was Reitho. Reitho sends it toward the end line. Doesn't go off the end line. The ball is ripped. It goes off of Harrison. And now the ball sent forward onto the feet of Jocks. And we have a whistle on Chazy. So some nice work from Chazy. Some nice defense from Willsboro.
And those that are watching on television, on Calvin Vision, can see the ball is skipping out there. So for the folks that are going to be taking shots toward goal, low hard shots are going to be the key to test the goalkeepers and see if they can handle those skipping balls.
Well, I would think the coaches have told the players anticipate mistakes because they're going to happen out here. When you play in these conditions, there are going to be mistakes, ball skipping. You almost have to anticipate if a ball is coming towards you and you think it's going to skip by the player, don't play the player, play for the mistake.
Yeah, there will be no true bounces today, and following your shots is going to be essential for the striking teams.
So Velakovic gets the ball into play to Martin, back to Velakovic. It's picked up by Bayshard of Chazy, and she has it taken away by Reitho. Reitho does a nice job defending, and it's now onto the feet of Harrison. She sends it forward. It gets by the feet of Barrier, but stepping up is Miss Sam Gagnon, and she's strength back there in the sweeper position. You have a lot of confidence with Samantha Gagnon back on defense.
Yeah, she's just an all-around good athlete. She gives you confidence out there. We have first substitution coming in. Marin Juno will check in for the Eagles, and coming off is Pender Bayshard.
And they don't mind running through the puddles.
Well, you're going to get wet at some point. You might as well get it over with.
Break it in early while you come off the bench. So far side, ball will come in play, throw in for Chazy. Ball comes into play. It's Pratt on the far side, working her way down the line, being defended by Harrison. Goes off of Pratt, so Harrison does a nice job defending. Harrison with the throw, and ball comes into play. Picked up by Lexi Clark. Clark cutting it to the middle of the field, gets it over to trying to get to number Juno. It's Lexi Clark, rips the shot, and that goes off of the hands of Lurkies. But boy, Lexi Clark had a hard shot, but great save.
That's exactly what Coach Tregan wants to see is Lexi Clark with those long strides and good ball possession. Top of the 18, she rifles a shot to the right of the goalkeeper who parried it away.
So it's going to be a short corner kick, and here comes Lily Pratt on the short corner kick, cuts to the inside. Another hard shot, and that goes side net. And some nice pressure from Chazy, and the Warriors dodge one.
Pratt was trying to go near side to the goalkeeper and hit the side panel on the outside of the net, but a good choice. I mean, the idea is to test the goalkeeper. She made one nice save, but you keep testing them.
Especially in a game like this with the conditions the way they are, there's room for those mistakes as we talked about earlier. And I would think as a coach, and that's going to be, ball's kept in. I would think that you're going to say just pepper the goalie. From whether you're 18 yards, 20, whenever you get an open shot, take it.
And some of these ladies have good fire. Like right here.
Again.
Oh,
Hits the post. It was Brooke Stevens, far post, and the post is the best friend for Lurkies at this point.
there's Juno.
Juno trying to get a shot off. She's with 2 defenders on her and coming off the line. So again, Willsboro dodges a bullet, but what a shot by Brooke Stevens.
You were just talking about taking shots from all distance, and that was Brooke Stevens from about 30 yards out. Nice low hard shot, went to the far post and directly off the upright past the waiting Turek. So Chazy was unable to capitalize there on a great opportunity. Substitution, Pender Bayshard comes right back in for Juno.
And so we're going to have a throw in by Turek. She's right into the puddle. Ball's thrown in on the near sideline, gets by Benway, and now it is Pratt. And there's the water. And, you know, that had some effect on Pratt. She tried to go, but the standing water, held the ball up.
Yeah, it stopped the ball, it stopped her momentum, and she tried to serve across and misstruck it because that ball was likely spinning. So goal kick here for the Warriors with about 33 minutes to go in the first half. No score here at George Brendler Field.
And, Lee, I'm actually impressed with the size of the crowd here today for the conditions that we're in.
Yeah, well, Chazy a lot of times will put a big crowd, and I'm sure there are some Willsboro fans over there as well. You know, it used to be a thing where Chazy and Willsboro they battled each other all the time.
Right.
And this is the first meeting between these two teams since 2021, October 30th, 2021, in the sectional championship.
And Willsboro is in, what, Division III now?
The girls are Division III, boys are Division II. And that happened a few years back. There was an odd number in Division III, and Willsboro moved down to Division III. So, yeah, they don't meet in the regular season any longer unless it's a non-league game, which there's really no space for in the Division II at this point in time.
And then I noticed in the paper with beds, meaning the size of the schools, and here Chazy putting some pressure on, is that we have some A schools now.
Yes, we do. That changed with the introduction of the Class AAA that happened this year for the first year. So it was to help clean up a little bit, move some of the bigger schools out of Class D and give some more parity in Class D.
Was that the purpose of what they did?
Yep.
Okay. So the ball's in on the far side. It'll be a throw-in for Chazy. And we're approaching the 31-minute mark. We still have no score in this playoff game between 8th seed Willsboro, number 1 seed Chazy, and it's Lily Pratt working her way down. And you can see the foot skills of Pratt. She has it knocked away, but it now goes on to the feet of number 19. That was Lexi Clark. Takes a shot from distance, but I like what Lexi did there. It went off the end line, so it'll be a goal kick. But you got to keep doing that. Again, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but it's wet out there.
Yeah, and what she did was she moved to the middle. She freed herself from her defender, and she took a shot from about 25 yards. But she hit it off the outside of her foot, and it skewered away. But yes, you're exactly right. You want to pressure that goalkeeper, keep putting shots on the net.
So the ball comes in. It's onto the feet of Mitchell. And, you know, starting the game, Willsboro was putting a little pressure. They were in the offensive zone of Chazy, but Chazy's kept it into the defensive end of Willsboro for the last probably 15 minutes.
Yep.
10 minutes, I should say.
And that was right there.
Yeah, well, you know, an extra 5.
Right there was the an instance of the fifth-year starter, senior Sam Gagno, taking it to the 8th grader Emma Jakes a little bit with a nice move. Now here is the opportunity as Langlois on the far side for Chazy.
Let's go.
And Pratt. Nice pass onto the feet of Stevens. Stevens trying to get the shot off. And it's cleared out of the 18. Stepping up for Chazy is number 6, Parker. Parker has a few goals this year. And outside the 18 here, looking to load up.
Clark again.
This is dangerous. Oh, what a defensive play by Belzile to deflect it. And here comes Pratt. Pushes it over to Bayshard. Bayshard has it knocked away. Good defensive play by Reagan Morgan. Chazy's still putting the pressure on. Pender Bayshard gets the shot off, and that comes off the hands. So Chazy, well, Willsboro's bending, but they aren't breaking.
Right, and that was a good shot from Pender Bayshard again from more than 20 yards out, but it was a chip shot toward the far post that skipped before the keeper got it. Now here's Lexi Clark again, dribbling through players. Lexi's on her horse today. Ooh, and a big collision.
The collision.
And that's foul on Clark as
Yeah,
she bowled over the
Was that
defender,
number 9?
Danielle Riethel. And
No, it's number
3, yeah.
okay.
And boy, Willsboro certainly can't afford any injuries since
No.
they have no subs. Riethel's walking toward she's going to try and trot it off. Yeah, she's going to be okay. She's a junior player out there and important defensive player for this Warrior squad.
Well, it's nice seeing her get up because that was a collision.
Direct kick would be McKinley Belzeal.
So the ball gets hit by Cassidy Turk onto the feet of Valkovic. Valkovic gets the ball over to Martin. Martin has it taken away by Brooke Stevens to the open space. And it is number 3, Riethel, sending it forward. Ball's pushed back. Pratt gives up to Bayshard. Bayshard tries to go back to Pratt. And now it's on to the feet of Clark. And there's that puddle. And as a player, there's not much you can do. That's got to be frustrating as a player.
Man, oh man, I'll tell you. Unbelievable. It's, but what can you do? It's just a scheduling nightmare.
But you know what? The rain has lightened up a lot.
Thank goodness. Yeah, we can't really take much more. And the other thing of concern is there are more games on this field, next week. And what kind of impact will playing today have on that? There's really nothing you can do about it, like I said, but it may chop this field up pretty good.
Well, they're calling for rain tomorrow, but not as bad as today, and I think Monday's supposed to be nice. So we'll see.
That was Pratt serving a ball towards Central, is blocked, and a foul is called on Chazy. So direct kick now for Willsboro. Midway into their own territory with 27:45 remaining in the first half, no score.
Chazy leading in the shot category 3-0. Corner kicks, Chazy has 1. The ball is back to Samantha Gagno. She calmly controls it, sends it forward, and back into Willsboro's defensive end. It's Belzeil back for Willsboro, and that's McKinley Belzeil. She sends the ball forward, trying to find Madison Benway. The ball's knocked away back to Belzeil. She now sends it forward to midfield. It goes off of Harvey onto the feet of Barrier. Barrier chips it back to the far side, but it's picked up by the Warriors, and now it's sent forward, trying to find the feet of Martin. Martin has it knocked away, and nice job by Avery Parker. She sends the ball forward. That will probably work its way off the sideline. And any whistle?
Will be a throw-in for the Warriors. And one of the things, Joey, that we're seeing is both sweepers for each individual team is playing way back, and I think that's to guard against the skipping ball that we've been talking about. Substitutions for the Eagles: Marin Juno coming in and Callie Castine coming off are going to be Cassidy Turk and Lily Pratt.
And some good minutes by Turk and Pratt. Getting a little breather. 26-30 mark. Still no score between the number 1 seed and the number 8 seed. And throw-in for Chazy on the far sideline. Ball comes into play. And quickly it's cleared out to the sideline, off the sideline. So it'll be a throw-in for Willsboro. And it's onto the feet of Morgan. She turns, but she was defended well by Clark. Clark gets the ball up over to Bayshard. Bayshard has it knocked away, but stepping up is Clark. Clark has a battle going on with Dakota Harrison. Clark pushes it back over to Juno. Onto the feet of Stevens. Stevens will take a shot from distance. And oh, what a diving save by Lurkus. And nice play by Stevens. Great save by Lurkus.
Yeah, and boy, Brooke Stevens was able to get the shot on goal, but she slipped as she was shooting, so it didn't have as much mustard on it as she wanted, but still a good save by Peyton Lurkus in the goal for the Warriors. This is a corner kick for the Eagles. This will be the first corner kick, I think. Second one, okay.
Yeah, they had one on the far side earlier. And it's going to be Brooke Stevens. And she'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, it never really came onto the field as Lily Pratt's going to come right back in, and she's going to take off Pender Bayshard. Pender Bayshard, I think her uniform is the most wet one out there that I've seen. So next to the goalkeeper for Willsboro.
Oh, my God, yeah. The ball comes in, goes over the head of Stevens, over everybody. And there's a battle, Martin and Barrier. Barrier comes back, but it's picked up by Martin. Martin trying to cut it to the inside, chips it back. She was trying to find the feet of Velakovic, and quickly it's sent forward by Benway toward the goal. And Callie Clark is the goalie.
Yep, Kelly Clark comes in. She touches the ball for the first time. I don't think she get credit for a save on that. It was a shot, basically, or a ball that was launched from midfield. Yeah. Now here's her sister breaking away down the far side. As Lexi Clark tries to get past her mark and Harrison, she centers the ball to Pratt. Pratt dribbling around her mark. She goes looking for Juno, bounces to Castine.
Nice.
She tries for Juno, but it gets past Juno, and Willsboro will look to clear.
That was a nice idea by Callie Castine to get it to Juno, but it's just too far ahead of her.
And it's going to be a throw-in as deep as you can get in the Willsboro territory.
So we're at 23:49 minute mark, still no score. Chazy putting pressure on in the Willsboro end, but Willsboro's done a good job defending.
Juno took a one-time shot trying to chip the goalkeeper, but Lurkus made a nice save.
So far the sophomore has come up big for Willsboro. She did have some help with the post on one shot, but the score's still 0-0. Chazy putting pressure on. The ball goes back to the defense.
It has been all Chazy. Really, the ball's been in Willsboro's defensive end 90% of the time thus far. As Turek's going to check back in, she's going to come in for Audrey Langlois as Coach Tregan is using his bench to make quick substitutions to try to keep his players fresh and make some slight adjustments here and there.
Yeah, well, I mean, there is no subs for Willsboro, so you get some fresh legs out there. You might get that extra step or two when the time comes. And it's good to give the players the opportunity to play in a playoff game because you don't know when they're going to be needed.
And there's no substitute for experience, and especially when you can get out there in a playoff situation, win or go home kind of thing. So.
Well, it's Pratt with the ball, too far ahead of her. It's cleared out by Benway.
At the goal.
There is Stevens, and you hear Coach go to the goal. She pushes it back.
Dribble.
Here we go. There's another hard shot, and that goes wide by Lexi Clark. Nice play, a nice pass. But again, Chazy needs to keep doing that.
It's that one, and that's what we're looking at. Is they're trying to put balls on goal, on frame continually, and looking to make the goalkeeper make a mistake. So that seems to be the play, and we'll see if it continues. Shots on the scoreboard say 6-0 in favor of Chazy.
And we have a goal kick for Willsboro, and it is Belzile. Sends the ball forward. That goes off of Lexi Clark. Clark tries to chip it forward, but she's defended well by Benway. But just outside the line, it is Bayshard gets a weak shot off, and the play is saved by the goalie Peyton Lurkus, and she'll take her time and work her way to the 18. But so again, some nice work by the Lady Eagles. They just haven't capitalized yet.
Juno had the opportunity there, but a low shot. It wouldn't have much pace to it. It was easy pickup for the goalkeeper. Now here's Callie Castine.
So the ball's forward. That goes off of the head backwards from Avery Parker. Gagno cuts it to the inside. And you see that senior leadership. She didn't panic, just turned and was able to control the ball and send it forward. Ball toward midfield. They'll go off the head of Stevens into the air, open space. And it is Clark trying to control, goes to the outside. She gets it on to the feet of Turek. Turek takes it to the outside, goes down the line, a little too far. And Pratt works his way off the end line. So right idea, just a little too much mustard on that pass ahead of Lily Pratt. So we have a goal kick coming up and some substitutions.
As Pender Bayshard and Audrey Langlois check back in for Callie Castine and Marin Juno with 20 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the first half. No score. Chazy's been applying pressure the entire first half thus far.
And it is going to be Belzile for Willsboro. Low kick. Went on to the feet of Harrison, back to Belzile. Nice play by Harrison. Belzile now sends it forward, trying to find Jacques. Going to the far side for Chazy is Avery Parker. Parker with some space is trying to, pushes it back to Gagno. Gagno now sends the ball forward onto the feet of Clark. Clark turns, gives the ball up over to Langlois, and the ball is knocked back toward midfield. Stepping up for Chazy is Harvey. Harvey goes to midfield, but it's picked up by Volkovic. Volkovic loses the ball. Forward by Parker, trying to find Lily Pratt. Goes by Pratt onto the feet of Belzile. Belzile comes to the near sideline, and it's going to be a throw-in for Chazy. We're at 19-26, still no score in this playoff game.
Stephanie Barrier takes the throw for the Eagles. It goes to the feet of Lily Pratt. She has the ball taken away by Valkovic.
And the ball is at midfield. Now it's sent backwards. Gagno for Chazy. Sends the ball forward. She finds Lexi Clark.
You can dribble if you want.
Clark with the ball comes back, trying to get it to Lily Pratt, but the puddle stopped the ball. And Pratt now has some space, working her way forward. Pratt getting by it. Here goes Pratt trying to get a shot off. Cuts it to the inside. Nice play by Pratt. Pratt pushes it across. Scores! And what a nice work by Lily Pratt, and who was awarded that goal.
That was Audrey Langlois with a tap-in on hard work by Lily Pratt as she retrieved the ball out of a puddle, then defeated 3 defenders. Nice fake on the one shot. She faked, caused the defender to jump in the air, went past her, and then served a ball right across the top of the 6. An easy tap-in for Audrey Langlois.
And, Lee, you could see it developing. You could see it was just a matter of time with the pressure that Chazy was putting on. But Lily Pratt didn't get the goal. She'll get the assist, but that doesn't happen with the work without the work of Lily Pratt.
No, it was good work there by the sophomore captain. She's she's one of the leading scorers on the team and has been for the last 2 or 3 years. So good young player, and hard to believe she's only a sophomore.
Yeah. So the ball is picked up by Vlakovic. Vlakovic with the ball comes to the near side to Martin. Martin with the ball, cuts it to the outside, taken away by Barrier. She's trying to, the puddle saves it for Pender Bayshard. She tried to get it to Pratt, the puddle stopped it. And the ball is sent forward by Turek.
Okay, I got you.
And Turek goes down from the collision with Benway.
Yeah, Cassidy Turek got knocked down by Madison Benway. Foul was called on Benway, so now it's a direct kick for the Eagles just about 5 or 6 yards into the Willsboro side of the field as Sam Gagno lines up to take this direct kick.
Well, Lee, one thing I can say, there's about 25 washing machines getting a workout tonight.
Yes, thank goodness Chazy's wearing the dark colors. Willsboro's going to have some difficulty getting the mud out of theirs.
So the ball comes into play. There's it going toward the net, going wide of that, but some nice work.
That's all right.
By,
let's press here, right? Come
that
on.
was that Langlois that sent the ball wide?
Yeah, Pender Bayshard, I believe.
No, it was Langlois. Okay, it was Langlois that sent the ball wide. So 17-31, and we have a Belzile.
Make sure you're ready here, Case. Never know.
Who's helping us out down there?
Oh, hey, he
The
does
coach
everything.
himself, yeah.
Hey,
Right.
listen, he was the MVP of the Final Four. Come on.
Marin, let's go.
Of the state championship game, actually. It is Gagno, sends the ball forward, goes on to the feet of Lexi Clark. Clark has it knocked away by Harrison, but quickly it comes back into the defensive end, and it is Turek gets the ball over to Pratt.
Run.
Pratt presses it to the inside. Pratt still with the ball, has it chipped away by Benway to the open spot, and it is Parker. Parker gets the ball over to Stevens. Stevens to Parker. Now Pender Bayshard looking to get a shot off, cuts it to the outside. Bayshard looking to turn. She gets the shot toward the net.
Still there, Lily.
Coming to help out was Pratt, but it was knocked away by Belzile. And stepping up for Chazy is Barrier. It goes into the puddle. Parker sends it forward over to number 19, Lexi Clark. She has it knocked away.
Let's go.
And now it's on to the feet of Vlakovic. Vlakovic can't control it. We have a throw-in for Chazy and substitutions.
Marin Juno and Emma Howell checking in for the Eagles. And one thing I've noticed is that Avery Parker's playing forward quite a bit today from her central fullback position. So she's applying the pressure, almost like a third midfielder out there for the Eagles.
So the ball comes into play off the sideline. And Lee, it was probably a good idea not to open up the snack shack today. I can't imagine sales would have been brisk over there.
Well, maybe for some coffee and that sort, but
hot chocolate.
I know they had planned to open it, but I think the weather put the kibosh to that. And it's hard to get volunteers sometimes too to man that, especially when the weather's not nice.
Yes, it's hard to cook those world famous Mickey fries too. Rain pouring down, and they could put a tent over it, I guess. But so the ball is controlled by Vlakovic. She has it taken away from behind by Parker. She one-times it onto the feet of Juno. Juno goes to the outside to Howell. Howell working her way down, being defended by Rytho. Rifle and Howell battling for the ball on the near sideline. Ball will work its way off the end line. That's going to be the third corner kick for Chazy. Good work by Howell.
Yeah, Emma Howell worked hard there to earn that corner kick as she bounced the ball off of Danielle Rifle. So it'll be, like Joey said, third corner kick, and it's going to be Brooke Stevens to take the corner for the Eagles. Hopefully she can do a better job than last and get the ball in a good position for the Eagles to capitalize.
Stevens, it's a low kick, but that's going to go by everybody. Langlois trying to get a left shot off, left foot, couldn't do it. Pushes it to the outside. Gagno's up on the defensive end. She pushes it forward, and I like what the idea of bringing Gagno up there.
Yeah, well, there was no space to work. There was 11 Willsboro players inside the 18-yard box there, and more than 7 or so Eagles. So when you pack 17 players into the 18-yard box, there's not a lot of room to move.
So it is the Eagles comes over to Howells. Howells a little too far ahead of her. It's cleared out by Belzile. Barrier steps up, gives the ball up over to Stevens. Stevens pushes it up over to Turek. Turek with the ball. Now sends it over to the near sideline. Finds the feet of Turek. And that was actually Lexi Clark. I've had it before. So, and that's going to be a foul on Turek as number 16, Velakovic, now has a dirty uniform.
She is now muddied up pretty sufficiently, as she had a smile on her face when she got up. I think she realized that, that's Mom or Dad's going to have a hard time getting the jersey.
Mom and Dad are on the sideline going, oh, no.
Yeah. McKinley Belzile lines up for the direct kick.
Well, we should point out, too, the temperature in the mid-50s. This could be a lot worse. This could be in the 30s.
Oh, no, there's no doubt about it. Temperature-wise, it's not a bad day for the last half of October. That's for sure.
It kind of reminds me of a day that we played, and I was playing varsity. I was a junior. Maybe I was a sophomore. I don't remember. But we were playing in Westport, and it was very much like this, standing water on the field and stuff. Warm up. We were out there, and I decided I was going to do a belly flop into one of the puddles. I don't know if Coach Bremner thought it was funny or not, but he managed to not play me the entire game, and it was cold as heck. And let me tell you, I regretted that decision for a long time.
So Lee, is that what you call in life lesson learned?
Absolutely.
Could you say that was a youthful decision on your part?
Very much not well thought out at the time.
Get up!
And a very cold decision as time went on.
Sit back here today.
Joe Coulomb talked to me.
We'll
you
blame
guys
Joe.
were classmates, right?
Fair enough. He was a year ahead of me.
Oh, okay.
But fair enough, yeah.
But he had an impact on you.
Yes. That's going to be a corner kick as Brooke Stevens tried to take a shot to her goal, is deflected by Rifle again. So corner kick, and coach is announcing he wants a quick corner, and they put it in play. But the ball was still rolling, so they're going to make him restart it.
So you heard Lee talk about deflecting, so he's trying to deflect the conversation away from him back to the soccer game.
Yep, for sure.
Ken Drake is in the house. Kenny Drake, local 22 ABC.
Hey, you two decide whatever you want.
Fox 44.
And Fox 44. I mean, what else are you doing there, Ken? I mean, I'm looking at your camera
Go
here.
ahead, you decide.
I'm almost getting you in the shot.
No, you don't. You don't want that. 11:45. Thank God you can edit, Ken. So the ball comes back, and it is number
Nice.
20, Brooke Stevens.
That was a good little move by Stevens to free herself. She crosses it looking for Gagno, and it skips past her.
Back in.
Gagno, left-footed service, bounces it off the defender, so it will be another corner kick for the Eagles.
That should be number 5 coming up.
Let it
Lee.
get on the goal like Brock service.
It's going to happen sooner or later. Chazy's going to capitalize on one of these free kicks as Stevens trots over to the far side, far corner.
Put your hand on it.
Maybe a little more central here.
You know what? One thing I've noticed, Coach Thompson doesn't dress like Coach McAuliffe. He doesn't just wear shorts out there.
No, neither coach for Chazy is wearing the shorts and cleats today.
Well, I'm a little stunned with Chazy's coach. I mean, he played under Rob McAuliffe, and you got John Tregan dressing up like it's
trying to make
wintertime.
his own identity,
Okay, we'll go with that. Okay. It's,
Offsides was the call there on Stevens as she was given the ball back from the corner kick, but Willsboro did a good job to pull the defense forward and pull the offside strap.
I got to break this rumor. Rob does not wear short pants. He borrowed those pants from George Brendler. Those are full-size pants that he's wearing.
Wow. Shots fired.
Well, Calvin's been around a long time, so he has seen that. I mean, you have to remember, Calvin started in the coop across the way. Back in the day, Calvin climbed a ladder to get up there.
Varsity field.
Yeah, the field you played on.
Through a hatch under the bottom of the coop.
Yes. Yeah. We've come a long way since then.
We sure have. Turek bounces the ball off of Reich. They'll throw in for the Eagles, and we have Langlois and Pender Bayshard checking back in. Is George over there? I don't know if he's over there today. Can't tell.
So we're under 10 minutes left in the first half. Chazy leading 1-0. Shots favor Chazy 9-0. Corner kicks 5-0. So that kind of gives you the indication of how this game has gone so far here in the first half. It is Lexi Clark cutting it to the outside. She is being defended by Retho. Cuts it to the inside. Clark left-footed. Sends it to the middle of the... And here's Pratt. Pratt will let it rip. Pratt does.
Good shot.
And there's a nice shot. And what a save, and going backwards is Lurkus as she stops it from going off the end line. So a great save from the sophomore goalie.
It was a good hard shot that squirted through the hands of Lurkus, but she was able to recover, spinning around and grabs the ball before it crosses the line. So nice save by Peyton Lurkus.
She's having a nice game so far for the Warriors.
She's been a busy goalkeeper this season. She's amassed, let me get my notes here, 143 saves this year in the goals for Willsboro. She's got 4 shutouts.
And she's only getting 20-something after all those shots.
Right. As the ball is cleared off to the side, it's going to cross over the sideline, throw in for the Eagles. Still deep in Willsboro territory as Marin Juno checks back in. And it's the we mentioned a few times, sectionals. And during the sectionals, for Chazy girls will often braid their hair. And sometimes it makes it more difficult than others to tell each other different apart on the field. But this year hasn't been so bad yet.
No, but you are right about that. And the ball comes forward by Benway on to Martin. Martin turns. She is defended by Barrier. Back to Pratt. Has it knocked away. And on the far side, it's Mitchell. She passes the ball, gives it up to Nolette. Nolette deflects it off of Chazy players. It's going to be a throw-in for Willsboro. Nolette runs over to take the throw-in, and it comes in quickly. And it's picked up by Lily Pratt. Pratt turns. Nice defensive job by Mitchell. Mitchell tried the outside of her foot, deflects off of Parker, but it's controlled by Langlois. Langlois with the ball. Gives it up to Pratt. Pratt pushes it forward to Turek. Back to Pratt. Pratt working her way through. Now pushes it over to Bayshard. Bayshard gets the shot off. Nice shot. Deflects. Juno trying to get to the ball. Ball is cleared out. And again, Willsboro dodges a bullet. Good effort again by the Lady Eagles.
Great effort there. Good shot by Pender Bayshard. Again, the keeper parried down. Fell to the feet, almost to the feet of Marin Juno. She hustled to get there. She was taken down by another player as they both battled for the ball, and the goalkeeper was able to kick the ball away. So good work there by Willsboro defense to avoid that, giving up the first goal of the game.
And of course, with Juno on the ground, she couldn't kick it to be considered a dangerous play.
Correct, yeah.
So we're at 6:50 left in the first half. Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. It has been a first half that Chazy has definitely controlled in all categories. On shots, they lead 12-0. Corner kicks are 5-0. And
Subs?
And substitutions, yeah.
Yeah, big difference. Stevens is back in for Pratt at this point in time. Here's a service by Juno, shouldered down by Emily Mitchell and cleared away.
So again, Chazy controlling.
Go ahead, now shoot.
There's a shot, and it goes wide. So one thing Chazy will like in the second half, if they keep the pressure up, they won't have to deal with these 2 swimming pools
that's
in the
right.
defensive end.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't know. I assume Willsboro won the toss. I don't know because Chazy kicked off. I don't know if they chose to defend an end or what the case may be. But yeah, you're right. There's no wind to speak of, so there's no advantage there. The only advantage is these 2 puddles over here on the in the Willsboro defensive end as Emma Howell and Cassidy Turek check back in for the Eagles.
So we have 5:43 left in the first half.
We should mention, Joey, there's a couple JV players that were promoted to the Chazy side. One of them earlier in the season, and she's played a few games, but that's Aubrey Bayshard. She's a freshman. And then freshly promoted to, and here's a shot by Stevens that's going to go wide. Freshly promoted for today is Gwen Campo. She's an 8th grader.
Oh, nice. That's a nice compliment for Gwen as an 8th grader to be moved up. So we're going to have a goal kick for the Warriors. We're approaching the 5-minute mark in the first half. 1-0 Chazy. The winner of this game moves on to the semifinals. This is a quarterfinal match. Willsboro made it to this match with a 1-0 double overtime win over Scroon Lake, I think is who it was.
Scroon Lake Newcomb, yep.
Newcomb. So the winner moves to a semifinal game. And, of course, both these teams are looking for a sectional championship on the 28th at the Beekmantown Sports Complex.
So the winner, as we mentioned, is going to play the winner of this will play the winner of Boquet Valley and Keene. And, Keene is a good squad. They come in with just 1 win and 1 tie. They shared the the Division III title with Wells, who was also...
You mean 1 loss, 1 tie?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
10 wins, 1 loss, 1 tie for both squads. So the 2 strongest teams there in the South are the teams that one of them is going to be facing the Eagles, perhaps, here, if the Eagles come away with a win here today.
And there are quite a few teams that got into the D playoffs in the ladies section.
Yeah, they did nine teams this year. The only ones that didn't participate was Indian Lake Long Lake. Everybody else participated in the sectionals, so Class D.
And as far as guys, there wasn't as many teams?
No, Crown Point decided to opt out at the last minute, as well as Indian Lake Long Lake. Both boys and girls Indian Lake Long Lake had a tough time fielding full teams all season. They just struggled with numbers, so they didn't feel it was prudent to play sectionals. And then Wells wasn't able to put a team together this year again. I think it's 3rd year in a row they haven't been able to put a boys team on the field.
So the ball comes into play, and it's controlled by Parker. Parker pushes it over to her cousin, Lily Pratt. Pratt cutting to the outside. She is being defended by Rethel. And again, it is Pratt. Sends it across. And again, defended well by the defense. And that would be Harrison. So again, Willsboro's been bending. They've only broken once. But a lot of pressure from the Eagles.
And that was a good work again by Pratt to come down the right side. Now here's the corner kick as Stevens looks to serve it, but it's going to go off the end line.
And it was a short corner too.
Yeah, and Pratt done well again. She beat her defender and she looked to serve across top of the 6. It was just blocked nicely by the Willsboro defense.
So we're going to have another goal kick. Go ahead.
And that's one thing we've seen a lot from Lily Pratt this year. She hasn't scored as many goals, but she's provided more assists this year, utilizing the wide and her speed on the wide.
Well, her work ethic is second to none, at least from looking up here. She gives it 100% every time she's down there.
Get forward here. Let's go. Up.
And here come the Lady Eagles. And hustling for the ball on the far side was Turek. It goes off of Turek, so a throw in for Willsboro. And giving the ball up and taking the throw in is Dakota Harrison for the Warriors. The ball comes into the feet of Nolette. And it goes off the sideline, so it'll be Chazy's Turek with the throw-in. We got the 2-minute call left in the first half. Howells pushes it back to Turek. Turek has the ball knocked away onto the open feet, onto Lexi Clark. Clark pushes it forward, but it goes onto the feet of Mitchell of Willsboro. Willsboro with some space, working her way down the far sideline. She sends the ball forward. She finds the feet of Martin, but coming back to defend is Parker. Parker does a nice job disrupting the play. And that got onto the feet of Harvey. Harvey sends it forward, but it's cleared back into Chazy territory onto the feet of Martin. Martin with some space, and it goes, was off the sideline, so a throw-in.
Cassidy Turek will take the throw for the Eagles as she launches the ball forward. Pratt's trying to get to it. Cleared away there by Belzeal forward and taken away by Clark. It's going to be a throw-in for Willsboro now on the far side.
So we're down to a minute 5. Countdown for the first half, and my guess they're going to probably do like a short 5-minute over or a halftime break. I would think.
It's hard. I would think so. It's hard to say though because Willsboro has no subs. They may want a full 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. So we're under a minute. Ball is controlled by number 5 Benway. Back there is Gagno, and Gagno sends a hard kick into the defensive end. It goes off of Belzeal. She goes to the outside. So it'll be a throw-in for Chazy. And we got Pender Bayshard back into the game.
She's going to give Emma Howell a break with 25 seconds left. This will take some ticks off the clock as Chazy is going to look to go into halftime with a 1-0 lead here.
But if you're Coach Tregan, you got to like what you've seen the first half.
It was relentless pressure by his team, and they're hustling hard out there and doing a good job in light of all the situations that have gone on here at Chazy. So that's a good situation for them here going into the second half.
And so the first half does come to a conclusion. It's Chazy 1, Willsboro 0. We'll be back for the second half. And we're back to start the second half. And Lee, I would say the Chazy girls are going to be ecstatic because on this side of the field, there are not two big puddles like they had to face in the first half.
Well, yes, and it'll be a little bit more of a challenge for the Willsboro team after they've made their adjustments at halftime for them to offensively attack on the Chazy team.
Well, right now it is Willsboro at midfield, but it was taken away from Turek. Or actually, Lexi Clark. Clark has it knocked away. Now it goes to Turek. Turek sends it forward, and it's sent forward by Belzile. And Lee, one thing I'm going to do is put my glasses back on because
that'll be helpful, right?
that roster is a little blurry to me.
Emma Jakes on the far side kicks the ball out of play. It's a throw-in as Stephanie Barrier throws it in, and Lily Pratt traps it down, tries to turn, taken away. Now it is Brooke Stevens right at the midfield line. She gets past her mark, and Stevens battling over there, clearing it away was Reithel, and it's going to skewer off the sideline for a throw-in for Willsboro.
Well, Lee, I know you work for a pharmacy, but it's amazing these things they call readers. It's amazing how you can read the rosters when you put them on.
Yeah, well, and this is the first year that I've hunted with my glasses on because I had a hard time seeing last year. I still was lucky, but
so what's going to be your excuse if you miss one this year?
Well, I'll have to think about that.
So here comes Langlois. She sends the ball forward. Pender Bayshard in stride picks up the ball, working her way down the sideline. Benway coming to defend, but it's Pender Bayshard taking it toward the middle of the field now. Bayshard now serves the ball across, and here's an opportunity for Chazy. And going down, there's a collision. Definitely, I wouldn't say no foul, just a collision, and the ball is cleared out to the far side. And Lee, if these white jerseys get any more dirtier on the back, I'm going to pick up their numbers on a couple of these players.
Yeah, that was Turek and Danielle Reithel who collided. Right, they were in the 18-yard box, but like Joey said, no foul. It was just one of those things that the footing is so suspect that they just kind of slid into each other. Chazy looking for a penalty kick not awarded by the official.
So the ball is sent forward by Barrier onto the feet of Stevens. Stevens pushes the ball forward, finds Pratt. And the ball will work its way, or there is a foul. Or is it a throw-in?
Throw-in. That's Reithel over there. She's done a good job defensively for Willsboro out there.
She's done a great job, and so has Benway back there for the Warriors. Ball comes across, and now here up off the back of the 18, outside the 18. Stepping up is Harvey for the defense of Chazy. Over to Langlois. The ball is pushed through everybody. Hustling hard on the ball is Nolette. Nolette sends it in the defensive zone. Sam Grinder, the sweeper, is there, cuts it to the inside. And she takes it off of Nolette. So a throw-in actually it goes off of Chazy, so it's going to be a throw-in. And it'll be Morgan for Willsboro with the throw-in. Comes in, it goes off of Lexi Clark. And now the ball is sent toward the end line. Nolette coming off the line for Chazy is Callie Clark. And has Callie played goalie all this year?
She's played every game this year for the Eagles, yes.
Okay.
And as a freshman starter, she's put together a real nice season, compiling 6 shutouts this year in the Eagle goal.
And, that speaks well for the lady program as only a freshman. If she stays in goal, she'll just get better and better as the years go on.
Certainly, as they'll work with her more and more. She was the JV goalie last year, and as circumstances called for, she needed to step up and start this year as test player wasn't able to play. And here's Pratt. She almost had an opportunity to get through on a breakaway, but again, Danielle Reithel stood there and stopped it.
So how did Chazy do in Division II? Their Division II, how they do in the league? Did they win the league this year?
No. They finished second in the league with a record of 10-2-1. Winning the Division II was Mariah. They finished 13-1. Their only loss coming to Chazy.
Okay, so yeah, I know that was quite a battle. 2 games with Mariah this year.
Yeah, 2-1 victory for Mariah, and then a 1-0 or 2-0 victory for Chazy in Mariah.
So Mariah is playing Class C?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So the ball is in the defensive end of Willsboro, and that was, I think, Balakovic on the far sideline. She sends it forward onto the feet of Stevens. Stevens pushes it over, finds Clark. Clark with the ball, over to Pratt. Now the ball comes across, goes by everybody, hits the post again, and the ball is deflected out. There's a shot, it scores! And Lily Pratt takes it under the crossbar and into the net. Good pressure from Chazy. Hit the post, the bounce went their way, and they go up 2-0.
I'm not sure I could describe exactly what happened because it was fairly chaotic in there.
Some would say a cluster.
But yeah, initially shot from Lily Pratt goes off the post, bounces out, bounces around like a pinball in there for a little bit, falls to the feet of Pender Bayshard, who fed Lily Pratt. She fires it, hits the bottom of the crossbar down and in. So 2-0 lead for the Eagles. Lily Pratt from Pender Bayshard with 34:58 left in the second half.
And Chazy is just happy they were able to pass the ball and not have any puddles in their way in this second half. And they are definitely on the better, or offensively on the better side of the field. And the ball is at midfield. It's picked up by Lexi Clark. Clark over to Stevens. Goes back defensively. This barrier goes to the outside. And it is Turek. Actually, that's Lexi Clark. No, it was Turek.
Yeah, Turek.
Okay, it's Turek sends the ball forward, far side. Pratt picking up her speed, challenging Reithel on the far side.
There is a bit of a puddle over there as I just saw the ball skitter to a stop on the far side. So, and deep in the Willsboro territory. So Chazy does have to contend on the right side, going down with a puddle as. Avery Parker has the ball for Chazy. She gives it up, and it's cleared away by Valakovic. And here's Lainey Nolette running for the ball. Gagno's coming over, and Gagno's going to clear it off the side as they slide. Foul called on Nolette. So it'll be direct kick for Chazy, about 25 yards from their end line.
So we're at 33-43 in the second half. Left in the second half. It's 2-0 Chazy. Shots favor Chazy 14-0. Corner kicks favor Chazy 14-0. So we had 2 balls on the field, so we're going to try it again. And it is going to be Harvey. We'll push it back over to Samantha Gagno.
Direct kick. Gagno's going to take this direct kick as nearly everybody is this side of midfield.
And if Pratt can break through from Rifle, it could be dangerous. And here goes Pratt. She'll do a through ball trying to find Pender Bayshard. Bayshard tries to go back to her. Picked up by Pratt. Pratt takes it to the outside. And the aggressiveness that I see from Pratt, I'm sure there's a deflection just wide. Nice try. That aggressiveness comes, she's a hockey player too.
Yes, she is.
And you can see that out there in her, bringing some of those hockey skills to the soccer field.
Yes, and she worked hard out there. She won the ball. She battled with Reithel. She gave a drop pass to Brooke Stevens, who took a shot toward goal, and it was deflected by Lexi Clark just wide of the net. So good opportunity there, borne by the hard work of Lily Pratt.
So the ball is controlled by Chazy at Langlois. Sends the ball to Bayshard. Bayshard pushes it back over to Lexi Clark. Clark gives it to Stevens, back to Clark. And here's Clark pushes it to the outside. Langlois' shot deflects toward the goal. Bayshard couldn't get there in time and cleared out by Belzau, who's had a strong game back there for the Warriors.
Yeah, it was a shot by Langlois. It looked like to me that Pender Bayshard got her inside of her knee on the ball to direct it toward the goal, but McKinley Belzal was there and did a good job clearing it away. It is a corner kick, as a short corner kick is played on the far side.
And Willsboro hasn't picked up on that this game so far. The ball clears inside the 18. And there's a hard shot, and that deflects wide. And that was a hard shot by Langlois, I think.
Good stuff.
So we're going to have a goal kick.
Another great opportunity. Chazy unable to put the ball on frame with a lot of bodies in front of the goalkeeper. If they could get it on the frame, it was a good opportunity for them to find the back of the net.
So we're going to have Belzile with the goal kick for Willsboro. She chips the ball up. That goes off of Clark and cleared out by Benway. Gagnon heads it down onto the feet of Harvey. Harvey one-times it to Langlois. Langlois with space, moving forward, gets it up over to Clark. Clark over to 14, which is Lily Pratt. Pratt turns, sends a through ball to the open space, far side, and there's the shot. But what a nice play. And coming on the far side was
Callie Castine. It was a great through ball, diagonal through ball by Lily Pratt to a streaking Callie Castine. She just pulled the ball wide of the net. Really nice opportunity.
So another goal kick. And for Willsboro, coming off the field is Pender Bayshard. And it was Howell checking into the game for Chazy. So the ball is sent forward by Harrison. Gagnon on the ground, but onto the feet of Mitchell. Mitchell on the far side has it deflected off her. Nice play by Barrier. And we have some substitutions, Lee.
Marin Juno and Cassidy Turek checking back in for the Eagles. And at halftime, Joey, I found out who the winner of this game is going to face in the semifinal.
Okay.
It's going to be Boquet Valley, who were 1-0 winners over Keene. And a bit of an upset.
So that was an upset.
It was a 5-4, a 5 versus 4 seed, but Keene coming in with only 1 loss and 1 draw all season.
And what was Boquet Valley's record?
I want to say they were less than 500.
Less than 500.
Yeah.
And so that is definitely an upset then.
Yep. Different divisions, Division 2 and Division 3.
Right.
So, competition's a little different. But yeah, so that's who the winner of this game is going to face.
So we know who one side of the bracket will be. Who will be on this side? Chazy is 29 minutes and 10 seconds away from becoming the opponent for Boquet Valley as they lead 2-0. And they're trying to get a third goal here. Pressure put on, knocked just outside the 18. Harrison battling for the ball, and that's a push on the Chazy player. And that would have been a push, I think, on Parker. And so we're going to have a kick for the Warriors.
Because the Langlois had the foul on that.
It was Langlois? Okay.
Yeah, so direct kick just at the top of the 18 for Willsboro. It looked like a shoulder-to-shoulder kind of a play, but...
Do you have any other scores from the other side of the bracket?
That's the only one I've heard so far is that Boquet's beat Keene, but that's all I know so far. I know that Seton was playing against perhaps Johnsburg Minerva.
Hey, we can't just stop here. We got to keep going.
And the other game was Wells against Johnsburg Minerva. Seton is playing the number 7 seed, Lake Placid.
Okay.
So that game was at 11. So that game should be over. I just haven't heard anything yet.
So there has to be history this year between Chazy and Boquet Valley. Do you have what's happened head-to-head?
Chazy's won both matches. I know the last one they played was 3-0. That was at Camp Dudley. I don't recall the score here. I think it was 1-0 here.
Okay. But, it's a rivalry game.
Absolutely.
Potentially. But potentially, if Chazy can hold on here. So it's number 14, Belzile.
As the rain now is picking up here again at George Brandler Field.
And it goes over to Jacques. Jacques with the ball, turning, sends it deeper into the offensive zone. Hustling for the ball is Martin. But defensively, Chazy's back there, goes to Gagnon. Gagnon, simple pass, gets it onto the feet of Parker. Parker sends it forward. She finds number 19, Lexi Clark. Clark has it knocked away. And they're trying to split the defense, and it is cleared out by Barrier. But back toward the net. Here's where it can get dangerous. And nice job by Callie Clark. But you saw that ball skip over her head.
Definitely. And luckily for her, it was to the side of the goal. It wasn't an issue. But yes, it's something that, when you haven't seen the ball at all during the game, all it takes is one opportunity, and you've kind of forgotten a little bit about how to handle those and play those.
So nice through ball on the far side. Emma Jacques hustling toward the ball.
This is the first sustained pressure that Willsboro has had on the Eagles as they've kept the ball here, here in the defensive side for the last couple minutes. And it's all starters out there for the Eagles, so it's not as though really that there's There's a couple bench players, but for the most part. And this is a corner kick, or
The first corner.
okay.
Yeah, so it's going to be Belzile, McKinley Belzile, the senior, taking the corner kick for the first one for Willsboro. So this is the first. Chazy leads in that category now, 7-1. It comes just outside the 18.
And
Ball is pushed.
Coach Tregan's not going to be happy with that because there was no Eagles near that as the ball landed on the feet of Morgan. She couldn't get a shot. Now that Jake's kind of snuck back there, she was off sides on the feed back in. So, but yeah, that's not a good look for the Eagles there in that corner kick.
So we have 3 substitutions ready to come in.
Yeah, Lily Pratt, Pender Bayshard, and Kelly Castine waiting for the next opportunity to come in as Willsboro controls the goal kick, taken away by Avery Parker. And now Stephanie Barrier will clear it toward midfield.
The ball is controlled by Stevens. She goes to the outside. Ball back to the center, back to Stevens. And it was number 16, Cassidy Turk, trying to get it to Stevens, but it's a throw-in for the Warriors. They're inside the offensive zone, or the defensive zone of Chazy. Ball's pushed back, and that goes off of number 7, Juno. Another throw-in. So we're under the 25-minute mark. Chazy 2, Willsboro 0. Winner of this game moves on to play Boquet Valley on Wednesday of this coming week. Ball is controlled by Mitchell. Mitchell has it knocked away. Harrison sends it forward. Gagno toward midfield. Ball is headed down, goes off of Juno. Howe hustling for the ball. It's Howe still with the ball. Howe collides.
It was a real hard collision.
That was a collision.
Emma Howell and
Well, Belzile had some size on her.
yeah, but Howell bounced straight back up.
Oh, yeah.
And, so direct kick, and it's going to be Sam Gagno here, 30-ish yards away. Gagno's got a left foot. She can put it on goal. 3-person wall just inside the 18.
My guess is she's going to go to the open
Gagno
space.
sizing it up.
Yep, that's what I thought. Coming in charging. So that was a nice feed by Gagno, and the players were charging, but off the end line for a goal kick.
If it were, like we always Monday morning quarterback up here, and
Of course.
if it were me, I would have put it on goal and had my players run at the ball, put a little pressure on the keeper and play for the misplay. But, everybody has their own strategy.
Right. That's why coach is there and you're up here.
True.
And me too. And Calvin's on the camera. And Ken's on the camera. But you're right, with the ball being wet, it went with the shot that Samantha has, Sam, it could have been dangerous for sure.
All she needed to do was get it over the wall and have players
Right.
running onto it at that
Because
point.
even if the goalie makes a save, it's wet. If they're attacking, they could have got the rebound.
Right, exactly.
No, you're right. I mean, it's just I don't know if there's any right or wrong answer. I saw the play develop what they did, and it did go off the head of the player, just wide of the net.
Yeah.
So it's Pratt sends the ball across.
Squirts through.
There it is. There it is. Oh, top of the net.
Top of the 18, that was Lexi Clark with a shot that just clears the crossbar. She was taken down a moment ago earlier on a hard tackle. However, the referee decided to play through because Chazy had the advantage, so that was the decision taken there.
And it's another goal kick for Willsboro. It's McKinley Belzile. Low hard kick. Going backwards is Reitho for Willsboro. She sends it forward. It's picked up by Stevens. Stevens over to Clark. Clark has it knocked away. And now it is 23 Castine, Callie Castine, pushing the ball forward, trying to find Avery Parker. Parker to Castine. Castine sends it back. And there's a hard shot. This is dangerous. And that was a hard shot by Lexi Clark. And, of course, it skipped just wide of the net.
I just received another score in another quarterfinal match. Seton Catholic has defeated Lake Placid by a score of 4-1.
And Seton was a higher seed.
Second seed, Seton
Okay.
Catholic. Yeah.
So Seton Catholic moves on to the other bracket of the quarterfinals. Semifinals.
So we're just waiting on a score from Wells versus Johnsburg Minerva. My expectation is that Wells will win that game. There's Pratt trying to split the defense.
So if everything went true to form and you got to play the games, it could very well be a Seton Chazy final. Potentially.
If you played if you assumed 1 versus 2, then that, yes.
Correct. There's a lot of soccer left.
Oh boy, yes.
21 minutes to go. I will never. You heard Calvin say stick a fork in that. Of course, that is the famous Joe the Fish. And we'll just remind the folks, it was state championship play. Chazy was up 3-0. They scored the third goal, 20 minutes left. Quite frankly, when Joe made that comment, he thought he was Ducky Drake calling a hockey game and said, put a fork in it. And as we know what happened, history has proven that was not the right call from the Fish. And we're over a decade later, and we're not letting them forget that.
No.
No, and we have Ducky's son up here.
Dad almost had to take the fork out one time.
Oh,
He admitted one time he may have gone a little too early with the fork.
Well, even Ken is saying his dad, the famous Ducky Drake, calling Plattsburgh State hockey. Even the legend Ducky Drake even made a mistake. Almost
made a mistake.
The key word is almost.
Safe, it went out of place.
But Ken has to say almost. He's talking about his dad, so he's got to say that.
That's right. And Lee's got his own broadcast going here too. You know.
Oh yeah. Oh, at least talking. I don't even have my mic.
No, it's okay. I'm doing.
So what else did you find out?
I'm doing a live feed.
Oh, you're doing the same thing?
Testing something out that Steve Chris uses.
Yeah, no, I see that.
Yeah. So here's Pratt, top of the 18, looking for a shot.
So do you have your 7 followers on this or what?
I have 12 listeners right now.
12. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that makes sense for people out of town, right?
Sure. His mother, his wife, his daughter. Well,
Matt.
Don't give up my secrets.
Yeah, I was wondering why you had that phone next to you the whole time. So what's he doing? But then I thought you were just getting the scores.
No.
So how are you getting the scores? You belong to some other?
Well, I'm receiving the scores from other coaches and,
okay.
and media, parents, that sort of thing.
Okay. Well, that's
my
why
Section 7.
That's why you're the Section 7 guy. You get all this stuff.
Exactly.
So Chazy, checking back in. We're under 19 minutes. So Chazy has had a goal each half, and the rain has definitely picked back up. So this is going to, with under 19 minutes to go, I think it's a tall order for any team trailing 2-0 to come back in these conditions.
Yeah. It is a difficult thing, no question. Since Chazy has held possession a great majority of the game, they do appear to have the better midfield control. As Pender Bayshard tries to serve it, it's knocked off the end line. Another corner kick. This will be number 10 for the Eagles.
Yeah, you get 10
yet to capitalize.
You get 10 corner kicks in a game.
Corner again. Brooks Stevens serves at top of the 18.
There it is.
Pender Bayshard.
Oh, another post.
Off the upright.
Lee, that's the third. That was a post. That's a third one. The goalie made that save? I thought I heard a bang. No?
That was her.
Calvin said that was all goalie.
Serves it. This time it goes off Clark.
So I got to give credit to Peyton Lurkus. The sophomore made a heck of a save on that.
Must have been a one-handed slap save because it looked like it was labeled for the near side as a goal kick now for the Warriors with 17:40 remaining in the second half. 2-0 Chazy.
So the ball's on the far side. It's Jocks. I'm a Jocks for Willsboro. She sends the ball forward onto the feet of Madeline Martin. And the ball goes off the sidelines. This will be a throw-in for the Warriors. They're halfway into Chazy territory. Now that I know you're doing this, they're on the far side going from left to right.
Ah, yes, the radio mode.
I'm going radio mode now. I mean, I didn't realize.
Let's let Ken cast the deciding vote. Was it keeper or the post?
That last save, Ken? Keep.
I looked it back. I think it might have been the post.
Oh.
But I can't slow it down. So it's
No, I thought I heard a bang.
It kind of that sounds like it.
So now we have the battle of the cameramen. Who was right? Hey, we could send.
I can just go home.
Hey, send your vote. It'll be on TV Friday night. The battle of the cameramen.
Play of the week. It's going to be highlight of the week.
Highlight of the week. Who's right? Ken or Calvin? Two heavyweights of the North Country.
I'll post it on my social media later with a slow-mo. And I will either concede or accept defeat.
Two worthy competitors with mutual respect up here in the press box. The ball is off to the feet of Barrier.
Marin Juno checked back in for the Eagles as we were having the debate. The ball is just locked here at midfield in a back and forth fashion. No real possession one way or the other. As Willsboro is trying to gain some offensive momentum, and Chazy's just stopping everything they're putting forward.
Well, we are a little more loose with Calvin vision when we're
Of
up
course,
here.
yeah. You can be.
You can
when
be.
You're on the radio when you're painting the picture.
Right.
When you're doing your artiste.
Yeah, but at least we can do a little kibitzing, and Calvin's got the game going on.
Exactly. Here's Lexi Clark breaking free for the Eagles, and she's tripped from behind. That's going to yield a direct kick 30 yards out.
I think she's more mad she got wet.
I think she's barking.
Wetter.
She's
wetter.
barking at the other team. It kind of clipped her heels and took her down. And Mr. Kowalski's, it's okay. He's trying to calm her down a bit. She's hot under the collar. Must be the red hair.
Yeah. No, your parents are okay. They plan on washing that uniform. Here
Sam
comes
Gagno.
Gagno. There's a rip.
This time she tries to put it to her goal
Yeah.
near side, but it was.
I'll tell you what, if that would have been on net, the way that skipped, that would have been dangerous.
Absolutely.
You know,
goal
the
kick
shots
again.
are 15-0 lead. I'm quite frankly surprised it's only 2-0. But there have been 3 posts that were the friends of the Warriors.
It's a credit to Peyton Lurkis, who's done a nice job out there as well.
Absolutely. Yes.
There's
Pratt. Look at Pratt's going to let this go.
top of the 18.
Oh, yeah.
Low shot. Nice save. Lurkis went down.
She did. And, you know, she guessed right. She figured she was going to go for that far post, and she went down and made the save. I'm very impressed with this 10th grader for Willsboro.
Pratt didn't get all, everything on that shot, but it still was a low, hard shot.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't. You don't have to get a lot on it. It's just picking the corner. And she did pick the corner, but it was Lurkis came up big for the Warriors.
There's a foul there as Chazy player collided with Reagan Morgan. Morgan holding her head a little bit. I think she was taken by surprise in that hit. So it will be a direct kick for the Warriors inside their own midfield.
18 and 11.
Lurkis is taking about a pound of George Brenner Field home.
Calvin just said, if you didn't hear that, Lurkis is taking about a pound of the George Brendler Field home with her. You know, I heard that people come in and they grab dirt and they bring it, like when you go to the Fenway Park, the same thing.
Here's Lexi Clark. Shot
There
to
it
the
is.
goal. Skips through the hands off the crossbar. And Lurkis scoops it up before Marangino could get there. Another great opportunity for the Eagles and goalkeeper's best friend, another post.
Leah, right now the winner of this game has been the crossbar and the goalpost of this game. They have 4 saves for Willsboro.
Yep, that was a great opportunity. Again, a hard shot from Clark, top of the 18, goes through the hands of Lurkis, but off the crossbar. And she scooped it before Marangino could get to it. But here's, this is and the foul's taken on Willsboro. It's going to be direct kick for Chazy, about 35 yards out. And again, we want to have the opportunity. It's going to be Brooke Stevens, I think, taking this shot this time. Put it on goal. But here, this is when you say follow your shots. This is the reason why this game here.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the pressure from Chazy has been unrelenting the whole game. They're leading 2-0, but it could very easily be 6 or 7. So it's just a great game today for the Lady Eagles.
Brooke Stevens take this direct kick. 3-person wall. Stevens puts it toward goal. Good shot. It bounced just at the feet of the keeper. She squatted down and the ball just kind of scooped into her gut area. So good save by Lurkis.
I'm surprised that didn't scoot underneath her. But she made that.
She timed the squat down perfectly.
She did. I mean, this young lady's doing a fine job over there for Willsboro.
Juno gets muscled off the ball, goes off the end line for a goal kick. There's a couple substitutions. Emma Howell and Callie Castine coming on for the Eagles. And we have 12 minutes to go in regulation. 2-0 Chazy lead. Goals in the first half by Audrey Langlois, and second half goal by Lily Pratt. Give the Eagles that advantage. Again, winner of this goes to the semifinal. They're going to play Boquet Valley.
And on the other side, we know one winner.
We do know that Seton Catholic will be in the other semifinal. We're waiting on a result from Wells versus Johnsburg Minerva, but that game wasn't scheduled to start till 1 p.m., so it'll be after this game is over.
So we may not have that information, obviously, when this game comes to a conclusion.
Unless they change the start time.
Gotta come back.
So it goes off the side foot of Sam Gagnon. So throw in, and we're going from left to right for Lee's listeners on the near sideline by the press box, and we're in the defensive end of Chazy. Throwing about halfway through. It's Morgan of Willsboro. She gets it on to the feet of Nolette. Nolette back to Morgan, and it's cleared out by Chazy. It goes toward midfield, hits the puddle. Howes hustles to the ball, and their feet got caught, Belzile and Howes, and they both stop and untangle. And now Gagnon chips the ball toward midfield. It goes off of the head of Benway into the open space, picked up by Lexi Clark. Clark cuts it to the inside. It's Clark, has some space, gives the ball over to Avery Parker. Parker to the outside. She finds Castine. Castine comes back to the midfield, picked up by Clark. And Clark working her way forward. And it is knocked backwards. Howell hustling for the ball. Howell gets to the ball. She has some open room. She gets it over to Turek. Turek goes back to Howell outside the 18. And it's cleared out by number 5, Benway. Nice play onto the feet of Harvey. Harvey gives the ball up over to Parker. Parker to Stevens. Back out, deflects. Onto the feet of Mitchell. Mitchell has it taken away by Parker. Parker over to Stevens. Stevens touches to the outside. Stevens has it knocked away. And the ball is now cleared to the outside onto the feet of Jacques. Jacques turns. She is defended by Barrier. Jacques gets by Barrier at midfield, sends the ball forward onto the feet of Velakovic. I haven't said Velakovic's name much this second half. I called her name a lot in the first half.
Yeah, she's on that far side. I don't know if they switched sides. I was thinking about it. I don't think we called Caitlin Harvey's name at all in the first half. And she's on the near side this time. She hasn't seen much of the ball today as a defense for the Eagles. So been on one side attacking most primarily for the Chazy squad.
So we're under 10 minutes, Lee, with actually approaching the 9-minute mark. It's 2-0 Chazy. They lead in the shot category 18-0. Corner kicks are 9-1. So it's been a total game dominated by the team in green, the Lady Eagles, and they are the number 1 seed, and they're playing like they're the number 1 seed. And it is Lily Pratt working her way down. She's inside the 18. She was defended well by Belzile, who knocks it to the outside. Belzile with some space now sends the ball forward. She was being pressured by Castine, and it's now on to the feet of Barrier. She has it taken away toward midfield, and it is number 20, Brooke Stevens for Chazy, sends the ball forward. Stepping up is Parker. Parker gets it over to Lexi Clark. Clark still with the ball, and there's a collision, and they're going to call it on Clark, and so Willsboro will get the kick.
Yeah, that was a hard collision. It almost looked like Lexi Clark lowered her shoulder a bit, and I think that's why the call was given in Willsboro's favor. And 8 minutes and 20 seconds remaining as Bill Zeal hits the direct kick toward midfield.
And the ball is controlled by Lily Pratt, deflected to Howes. Howes cuts it to the inside, stepping up is Belzile. She sends it back toward midfield, but it's controlled by Chazy over the feet of Howes. Howes has it deflected. Coming over to the ball is Lexi Clark. Clark with the ball, working her way forward. Clark still with the ball, goes to the outside, pushes it back toward Pratt. Pratt will pick it up. She cuts to the outside, but defended well by Reithel. Reithel takes it away, goes toward midfield. The ball deflects off of the sideline. It went off of number 3, Barrier. Throw in for the Warriors. Ball comes into play off to Jacques. Jacques pushes the ball into the open space, but it's picked up by Turek. Cassidy Turek. Nice slow front pass over to Lexi Clark. Clark trying to find Pratt. Back to Clark. Clark goes to Pratt. Pratt on the outside. Pratt rips a shot from distance, and that just misses the far post. So again, good work from Chazy controlling the play.
Excellent work by Chazy. And some substitutions, Jocelyn Juneau checking in at fullback, and the final senior besides Tess Blair to get on the field, Shiloh Carroll, will check in for the Eagles. She's going to take Emma Howell off, and Shiloh's going to play a forward position for the Eagles.
And we have 7 minutes left in the second half. I can't say the game. Calvin Casa, and the father of Hometown Cable, schooled me on that a couple times. Said, there's only 3 minutes left in the game, and somebody would score and tie the game, and we'd be here for an extra 30, 40 minutes. And then Calvin would blame me, just so you understand.
Yeah, well, it would be much more uncomfortable if we were stuck in the rain out there, but we're pretty cozy up here.
We're pretty good up here. It's not bad. So here comes the goal kick by Belzile. And, this game, too, at the first half was probably 95.5% Chazy possession, and this game, second half, probably 90%, 10% Chazy possession.
Yeah. A little bit of effort, offensive effort by Willsboro for one stretch there where they pinned Chazy back for a couple minutes. But, by and large, it's been Chazy's advantage this game.
Well, Willsboro should be very proud of themselves. They have no substitutions,
Absolutely.
and they've played very. I mean, they played very well
played
today.
Very hard out there.
Yes.
They've not left anything on off the field. They really kudos to this Willsboro team. There's three seniors. We'll mention them. McKinley Belzile, number 14, out there. She's done a great job as their sweeper this game. She's really held it together back there defensively for them. Emily Mitchell, number 17, she's a midfielder primarily. Done a really good job for them possessing the ball and a couple decent passes out there. And Dakota Harrison, number 4, again I believe a defender for them. You like to acknowledge the seniors. What may be their last game, hard to say. They don't want to call it right at this point, but it's going to be an upward battle for them to move on at this point in time.
Right, but a wonderful career that they've had with the Warriors up to this point, and who knows, with 5 minutes to go, stranger things have happened, and the ball goes forward. It's Belzile toward midfield, and it will be picked up by Jocelyn Juno, who's checked into the game for the first time. She takes it off the sideline. So a throw in for the Warriors. Ball comes into play, controlled by the Eagles, and now to Stevens. She has it deflected by Retho, and a quick throw in by the Eagles, and it's knocked off the sideline again. Ball comes into play. Ball's headed backwards. Back there is the senior. You said Belzile. Is it Belzile or Zil?
Yeah, I always say Belzile, but I don't know if that's.
Either do I. Maybe Ken Drake would know. Is it Belzile or Belzile? Nobody knows. Calvin.
I've got Isle.
He's going Isle. We got 2 Isles and 1 ill. So right now we'll go Belzile, but I could be wrong. The ball goes into the offensive zone for Chazy. Pushed back to Belzile. She sends it into Chazy territory. Back there is Gagno. She has space. She sends the ball forward. And at this point, when you got 3 minutes and 54 seconds left, as a coach, you just want to keep pushing that ball forward, getting it out of your defensive zone.
Forward into the corners. That's usually what you do is to delay the game and to turn the time down. As Lily Pratt tries to get turned on number 3, Rythel. Rythel, probably the dirtiest uniform out there, besides Peyton Lurkus. And I was thinking these ladies are going to be looking very forward to a nice warm shower or hot shower after this game. The downside is Willsboro's got about an hour ride home.
Yeah.
Hopefully they have some spare clothes they can put on to warm up a bit.
Well, I heard her parents are stopping at the store. They have a coupon. You can buy one, get one free of shout out. And they're going to be spraying those clothes extra today, especially white. I mean, that's got to be tough cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
So the ball comes across, and I'll tell you, this sophomore, Peyton Lurkus, she's done just a fabulous job back there for the Warriors, and she has the ball right now. She'll work her way to the 18 with 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. And the goalie situation for Willsboro looks very good indeed for the next couple of years with that young lady in net. So the ball comes back into play, and it is number 19, Lexi Clark, to Pratt trying to cut the defense.
Rifle clears it toward the side, hits the puddle, and stops.
And Lee, I mean, as we approach the 2-minute mark, it's been just a wonderful team effort from this Chazy squad today.
Yeah, they've come together through some really terrible, tragic circumstances to come in and play a good, solid game out there for them. It certainly couldn't have been easy, but it's a little bit of a distraction, perhaps, in an otherwise terrible week.
Exactly, and so we're gonna have a goal kick for the Warriors. We're now under 2 minutes left, and the one thing we can say, this game has been played the whole entirety in rain today. It's been it slowed up a bit, but it never stopped, and it's come down pretty heavy now.
The one good thing is the field here at least appears to have held up fairly well.
Yeah.
That's a good sign because it's going to see some action the next week. So
Why I think after this is done, they're going to put the tarps back over the goalie area to, like on the side where Lurkus is right now. It looks kind of muddy there. It might be difficult.
Yeah, there's some standing water down there.
But to the goal by the cornfield, that doesn't look to be as bad.
And that's traditionally how it is as well. So usually the cornfield end is where they do penalty kicks if they have to go that way, because that 6-yard box is usually a little cleaner and with better footing.
And we want to give a shout out to the Giroux family for keeping the cornfield up there, so we have that Field of Dreams feel to it when the games are here. So we're approaching November, and
Stevens with a shot towards goal, but it's wide.
So we're approaching the 38-second mark, but you always have a sense of the Field of Dreams when you play here, and the corn is still up. Now maybe the wet fields have something to do with it, but
that's possible.
But they're still there.
I know they just started their harvest last week. I think it's safe to say at this point, Chazy's going to advance to the semifinal. That'll be Wednesday. Here's a shot from Clark.
Scores!
And Lexi Clark scores in her senior game with 12 seconds left on the clock as Chazy takes a commanding 3-0 lead.
And that was a great shot far post. Lurkus had no chance. She dove for it, but and it was an assist from number 20. It sounds like
14.
It was 14. So it was
Lily
Lily Pratt.
Yeah.
So Pratt, has she been in all 3 goals?
She has. Goal 2 assists for Lily Pratt. So she's had a hand in all 3. So it's a nice ending to the Eagles game. They'll, as I was saying before, Lexi Clark so rudely interrupted me by scoring a goal. Chazy will play Wednesday in the semifinal against Boquet Valley.
They're a rival. They've had their way with them 2 games this year as far as winning. So, but beating a team 3 times in one season, any coach does not want to face a team 3 times.
That's the old saying: it's difficult to win 3 straight against an opponent.
But what a great effort by the Chazy Lady Eagles today, and what an effort by the Warriors of Willsboro. What a wonderful season. They only had 11 players, no substitutions. The seniors, they realize it's their final game. Coach is out there with them.
Yeah, good.
And
well, you hate to see that.
But you know what? Every year we lose seniors to graduation, and just a great career for those young ladies out there. Congratulations to the Warriors of Willsboro, and they will do the handshake. And as Calvin says, that's the way it is in beautiful downtown Chazy.
Thanks for listening.